Okay, so this is my movie review on Godzilla King of the Monsters. So, after watching it a second time over a few days, so I wasn't as tired when I finished watching it, I actually prefer it way more than Kong Skull Island, and it's actually my favorite one. And I have the movie pulled up beside here me on Netflix, just so I can kind of like skip through it and see what there is. But so like the reason I like it so much is because it has King Ghidorah, which ever since I've known about Godzilla since I've been like 7 or 8 years old, he's always just been my favorite Godzilla character. And Mecha Godzilla is a close second, I'd say. So it starts off with like them birthing Mothra. So I never really cared for Mothra, but I think in this movie she's a little cooler because her wings are much larger. They're also like a blue color, and she has these pokey things, kind of like the male Muto in a way, the Mutos. And she has a stinger, which I don't think she had any, like the show in Heisei. I think she just spit like, what did she spit? She spit like webs or some sort of silk, and then she could like fly and stuff, but she was not nearly as interesting. And one of the funny things that happens early in the movie is when Monarch is trying to campaign to not get put under the military, and they're saying like the Titans are just part of the world's natural order and stuff, and they're trying to defend them. This guy shows a video of the male and female Muto like kissing or something, or not exactly, but it's like when they like go up next to each other, sort of. I think they're supposed to be kissing or whatever. In the first movie, it like blurs out where they're kissing. It's just kind of goofy. I feel like the guy who's playing the dad, when he is trying to get his daughter to come back over to him and his wife as well, he like, especially the more so his daughter, he is like doing really good acting because he looks so distressed. He looks really, really distressed about it, and I think it's just like really, really good acting on his part. So then King Ghidorah is birthed, and I think it's pretty cool. I really like where Godzilla comes up and they're like looking at each other, and Ghidorah has his wings up, and it looks so cool. You can see how big he is, but it's just really cool because he has like webbing between it, like in his wings here, down his wings, and so it makes them look like way larger than I feel like they actually are technically. But it's really cool. I really like that. So they battle it out, and then I think like, well, that's where that's people said like they're, I mean, the three heads definitely have different personalities, but I feel like you can only really see them in the scene with Antarctica. You can definitely see it a few times, but that's really it. So then they go and release Rodan. I did not think Rodan was actually going to be a very like big character in this movie. I thought he was just gonna fight Ghidorah because I had seen that he fights Ghidorah, he gets defeated, and that's it. But he appears a few other times in DC and in Boston. And he's also like, I didn't really care much for him at all with Heisei and Showa era, because he's a big pteranodon, which is kind of cool because it's a dinosaur, but it doesn't feel like especially unique, especially with Godzilla, which has things like this. So I didn't find him like that interesting before, but now he's got like like lava or like fire, like charcoal on the back of his wings. And I think he just looks a lot cooler. He can do this cool attack where he like slams his wings and destroys something. So they lead him into the storm with King Ghidorah, which is really cool. It's like a Category 6 hurricane, which doesn't even exist in real life. So when they're like into the storm, that they see Ghidorah. Basically, he's kind of not really a shadow, but they see him in the storm, but he's not like super highlighted. They then dive down, so Rodan fights him. That part, when I watched it again, gave me goosebumps. It was just so freaky, just seeing a shadow there and just how big Ghidorah is. It's really scary. So he defeats him, and then he defeats Rodan, and right then he fights Godzilla, who bites off one of his heads, which I didn't expect, and they try to get him with an oxygen destroyer, which I think is very interesting because in 1954, when they did that, then in the Heisei era, they were like, okay, that infected all these little like Cambrian creatures, and so they came to life, they came back to life and formed Destroya. So I'm thinking that maybe Destroya could come back into the MonsterVerse, just because of that. But Ghidorah's fine, and then he grows his head back, which I don't think is like his healing ability. I don't think that's ever been explored in the other movies. I don't know for sure. Maybe the Millennium series. I don't know anything about that. So he does that, and then he does his big alpha roar and summons all the Titans, which is really cool. I like that aspect of it. And then I mean, this movie is definitely where it starts, I think, showing that it's something more than just like kaijus, because it talked about the Hollow Earth and Kong Skull Island, and now it's talking about that in this movie. They also mention Kong in this movie, and they show like his head for a little bit. So he is actually like, it's starting to connect those two movies. So they do go into the Hollow Earth really quickly to like rejuvenate Godzilla basically, because he's like almost dead. So they do go into Hollow Earth in this movie, which I didn't realize. They blow him up with a nuke, which obviously like superpowers him. And then like you see I wish you saw more of this, but you see in DC like Ghidorah's storm with Rodan there, as like the entire U.S. military is trying to fight him, and it looks super cool. I just wish you saw more of it, because you kind of see them go up to it, and then you see Rodan attack like a plane, like in a close-up, and then that's it. But it looks really cool. I like it. All the Titans are cool. Obviously, Titanus Behemoth is the coolest one. I still think he's definitely the coolest. And then like they go to Boston. I'm pretty sure this is how it goes. They go to Boston, and Godzilla fights King Ghidorah, which I think that's a really cool fight. That's all I can really say. It's really creepy, actually. I think Madison is the daughter. She turns on the orca, and you just see Ghidorah's face go up to the window. It's pretty creepy. You see him like look in. So it's pretty cool, because then Mothra comes back. Something I found weird is that when she appears the first time at the naval base, like when Godzilla's trying to like basically come back to life before they nuke him, someone says, "Queen of the monsters," and I'm like, I mean, Ghidorah is still the king, and Godzilla hasn't defeated him. In fact, Godzilla's basically been killed by him. So I don't know where she has the gall to call Mothra the queen of the monsters. She's a moth. I mean, she almost gets killed by, Rodan. She just, stabbed him, stung him. That was it. And it didn't even kill him. She, like, sacrificed herself then to save Godzilla. She's not the queen of the monsters. Maybe later on, like, like in the Showa era and stuff, like, I can kind of get that. But, like, she has no basis for calling her queen of the monsters. No, I don't stand by that. So, he fights Ghidorah, and then Ghidorah, he absorbs, because I was waiting for this the whole time I was watching the movie. He absorbs this electricity, and he puts his wings out and just shoots all these electric bolts all over the air, and it looks super cool. And you can see him actually regenerate, because it like breaks like parts of his wings. He has like holes in his wings, and they just quickly come back. So then what is it? Then like Godzilla basically, he's almost killed by Godzilla. Ghidorah is lured away by the orca, and then he almost kills Godzilla. Yeah, he's lured away by the orca, and Godzilla then goes thermonuclear. It's really cool how Ghidorah, you just see his two heads disappear, and the middle head's kind of like hopeless, and then he gets stomped on, and his chest like explodes, and it just looks really cool. I like that a lot. And that's really why I like this movie. The fight scenes are so cool, especially with Ghidorah, just like the ancient enemy of Godzilla. And it was pretty cool having like Rodan there. What I really like is how they just brought in like all these other Titans, Scylla, Methuselah, Behemoth. They look pretty cool. The Queen Muta's like, she's kind of cool, but she's like, we kind of just saw basically that's like the female Muta, but like slightly different. So then Godzilla does his big roar as all the Titans submit to him, which looks really cool. And then that's it. So I really like this movie. It's definitely my favorite of the four right now. It might be, but I am also really excited for Godzilla x Kong a lot as well. So that's all I can really say on the movie. I don't think I really have any complaints on it. The first time I watched it, I didn't think it was as good because I thought there was, I guess they were gonna do more. I thought with the little titans like Skeela and Behemoth and stuff, they didn't. Uh, and the first time I was really tired, so I didn't get to like enjoy it as much. I suppose it does get a little bit ridiculous with Godzilla going thermonuclear and stuff, but I don't really have any complaints for the movie because they get the Titans started off like appearing, like they start that off like pretty freaking quick. So they don't like make you wait that much. They don't make you wait nearly as long as the first Godzilla movie. In fact, I mean, basically like the second scene in the movie that I just really like the movie. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Bye.